Meghan Markle is experiencing a shrinking circle of friends as several individuals are choosing to distance themselves from her. And guys, this is pretty surprising. This has been highlighted by a former acquaintance of Meghan Markle, and this situation has emerged in the aftermath of Meghan and Harry's fallout with the Beckhams in July of 2023. And this was when accusations were made by Meghan and Harry that the Beckhams were responsible for leaking stories to the media.
The source claims Meghan suspected Victoria could be leaking private details.
British TV presenter Lizzie now suggests that Meghan might have manipulated Harry into believing that the Beckhams were involved in the leaks. And guys, we've all seen before and even heard it directly from Prince Harry's lips how much Meghan Markle affects him emotionally and mentally.
No one sees what's happening behind closed doors.
So this is nothing new. She affects Harry, period. So at this point, it's not even far-fetched to say that she manipulated Harry to do something. But we've also seen how different Harry has been since he got married to Meghan Markle, where Harry and also Meghan have, now painted themselves as the victims in their entire situation. Either way though, according to Lizzie Cundy, Meghan asserted that Victoria Beckham was the source of the leaks. And this development reportedly left David Beckham, Victoria's husband, extremely angry about the allegations, as stated by a separate source in this case.
Yes, the report claims David is absolutely bloody furious about the accusations.
But Lizzie Cundy, she went on to speculate that Meghan's claims caused a big divide, resulting in the Beckhams and other friends choosing to distance themselves from Harry and Meghan. And this is what she had to say about, I think Victoria and David have slowly tiptoed away like the other friends. Many friends who went to the wedding have tiptoed away from Meghan. Then she went on to say this: these are real big family people. There's no way Victoria would have leaked stories. So right there, she's just saying that she thinks that Meghan Markle completely made this up. She's totally lying about it. Like, how would you accuse your close friends of doing something so harmful to your reputation? Lizzie Cundy from there continued to recount how Meghan was initially starstruck when she first encountered Victoria Beckham, aka Posh Spice, and this happened back in 2013, which is a big contrast with the now strained relationship between them since they were once really close friends. During the Global Gift Gala in New York, Lizzie Cundy and Meghan both attended the event and spotted the former Spice Girl, Victoria Beckham, at the event.
Meghan, the hottest girl in the US, the #1 show in the United States of America. Amazing. Thank you so much.
And this is how it went down. In a statement that she made to the New York Post, Lizzie Cundy added this:
I've never seen anyone squeal quite like it.
Meghan was so thrilled with excitement to see Victoria Beckham. She went, oh my God, that's Victoria Beckham. It was crazy. I thought,
you've got to calm down and be cool.
I was the one who knew Meghan before Harry, and I saw the reaction to Victoria. She was a proper big fan. She let that show. And then once Meghan began dating Harry in 2016, she forged a good friendship with the Beckham. In contrast, Lizzie Cundy says that she was then ghosted by Meghan as soon as her relationship with Harry began.
There's only one reason why, Mark, and that is because the palace are scared of Meghan's next move and what she's going to do.
And she shared this with the Mirror publication back in 2021. Now, the Beckhams were not the only celebrity couple to become new enemies and pull away from Meghan and Harry. As a matter of fact, George Clooney and his wife Amal Clooney also experienced a rift with them. The couple's relationship with filmmaker Steven Spielberg as well as Oprah also is said to have gone sour. Now, this was even noticed when Harry and Meghan were completely excluded from the guest list for Oprah's lavish 69th birthday celebration. Journalist Paula Froelich told The Express US the big power players in Hollywood were deliberately keeping their distance from the couple, Harry and Meghan. And one of the reasons why famous celebrity couples are distancing themselves from Harry and Meghan is also said to be because they don't want to upset Kate Middleton, and Prince William.
You called me?
Sure did.
After stepping down from senior royal duties with her husband Prince Harry,
Screw you.
it's clear that Meghan wants to further her career in the entertainment industry. But it doesn't seem like anything is really working out for her, especially after her Spotify deal was scrapped. Meghan Markle also signed with top Hollywood talent agency Williams Morris Endeavor, or WME, which was considered a significant career move, and she was expected to be a major asset for the agency.
The Duchess of Sussex has taken another step in her post-royal life by signing with the talent agency William Morris Endeavor.
With WME having represented many famous stars, having Meghan on their roster was seen as good business for the agency and provided Meghan with a very prestigious platform. However, despite the initial excitement surrounding the signing, it has been several months since the news broke, and Meghan has not announced any upcoming plans or projects. Like, nothing is official.
Then how about focusing on the fact that I did it for you?
There have been a lot of rumors and speculations, like Meghan becoming an ambassador for the brand Dior, and also she would be starring in the remake of the movie The Bodyguard. But all of these were simply speculation, and any project that supposedly she had in the works had either been completely denied by the brand or company, or not explicitly confirmed, or they have been cancelled.
Let me get this straight. You hit on me, then you run into the arms of some married woman.
So now we have this extended period of time where we don't see any official announcements, and it's longer than what is typically expected for a new client to secure deals in the entertainment industry, especially a client who is Meghan Markle. Like, you're a top celebrity. Now, there's one PR expert, Kieran Ellsby, who had some comments to say, and they suggested that this delay in securing deals may indicate that Meghan is facing challenges in finding her footing in Hollywood. While she did have her previous partnership with Spotify and her ongoing deal with Netflix remains intact, there may be additional projects or opportunities that she is actively pursuing, but she just hasn't made them public yet. It's also worth noting that the entertainment industry can be highly competitive, and securing new projects often involve careful negotiations as well as careful planning. But given Meghan's fame, like I mentioned, and her star power, it's a little strange that no news of any project has been announced yet. Are her plans just being kept under wraps for now? Or are brands and companies just not willing to work with her? There's still a whole lot of questions here.
Excuse me, do you have a moment?
This is the faculty lounge, Miss Zane. You're not supposed to be in here.
With that said though, Meghan's transition from her royal life to a Hollywood career may present some unique challenges and considerations that require more time to navigate successfully. Given her situation and who she is, maybe there's a little bit more behind the scenes that we don't really know about. But despite the current lack of announcements, Meghan's talent and star power are likely to remain appealing to industry professionals, and her partnership with a prestigious agency like WME could still definitely lead her to major opportunities in the future. And Kieran Ellsby had some more comments about Meghan, and he shared this. She's also said in the past that she's done with acting, and she seems to be more interested in producing and creating content. I think it's more likely that we'll see her launch a new lifestyle brand or start a foundation. That way she's in control and basically needs sponsors, which should be easier to find. So guys, considering all of this, there's no doubt that the challenges for Meghan's Hollywood career do seem to be mounting, especially after Spotify's Bill Simmons labeled her and Prince Harry as effing grifters.
After producing just one 13-episode podcast series for the firm before separating, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been dubbed effing grifters by a top employee in the Spotify podcast department.
And royal biographer Tom Bower believes that the couple's joint ventures are actually falling apart, and that Meghan is seeing that it is very hard and difficult to sell her brand because of all of the controversy surrounding her. Tom Bower went on to say this: "They're beginning to taste the medicine that they handed out after the Oprah interview, and they're finding it very, very hard to keep their brand reputable. They're constantly constantly having to defend themselves and grasping at opportunities that don't exist anymore.
Meghan Markle is destined to become president. Does this Duchess have what it takes to be a future POTUS?
But how does Meghan's potential presidential career mesh with her royal in-laws? And what does husband Harry have to say about it?
Meghan Markle is being mentored to potentially run for the presidency of the United States. This is something that has been discussed in the media for years, but now it appears to be much more likely than first expected. During his appearance on ITV's Loose Women in July of 2023, Hollywood expert Ross King raised the possibility of Meghan Markle running for president. Panelist Jane Moore inquired about Meghan's potential next steps, and Jane Moore, she specifically asked this: what about the US? Where do they stand on Harry and Meghan? And Ross King had this to say in response: they're certainly not as popular as they were, but I think a lot of young women, especially young women of color, who adore Meghan. Jane then further asked, do you think she could be president, run for president one day? And then another woman, Denise Welch, interjected, stating she wouldn't want to. However, Jane Moore interjected, saying she's smart, and Ross King expressed his belief that it is indeed a possibility, and this is what he said: I don't know, I wonder. I think she does see bigger things for herself, so that wouldn't surprise me if she ran in some way, governor or something like that. And now Denise Welch, she actually agreed, acknowledging Meghan Markle's significant charitable work. She says that she does a lot of good work. And according to royal expert Kinsey Schofield, who has spoken about Meghan Markle being president of the United States in the past, she does say though that Meghan has been mentored by political figures, indicating a potential run for office. And these are recent statements.
I mean, I think it'll be a cold day in hell before Meghan Markle is a United States president.
However, whether that will happen in 2024 or at a later date remains completely uncertain. And Kinsey Schofield specifically stated this: when Meghan disagrees with something, she does not sit back and watch. She almost immediately starts to try to implement change. Is she going to run for president in 2024? Unlikely. However, there is room for her since Biden isn't committing. She is connecting with political figures to ask how she can help them in their efforts, and I think the ultimate goal would be that she could eventually run herself once she has established herself as a familiar political figure. Kinsey Schofield also had some additional comments to say, and this is what they were. We know that she is being mentored by several political figures higher up. She is friends with Stacey Abrams, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris. And it's also been suggested that these influential individuals could actually be assisting her in establishing a path for Meghan Markle in the political arena. However, the question does remain: would the American public vote for Meghan as their president? Because she's definitely a very polarizing figure in the United States, and even Kinsey Schofield and other experts doubt that she'll even get the widespread support that it takes to actually become president. Then again, who knows? According to a source, Harry and Meghan are considering various options for their future endeavors, and they are open to exploring any opportunity that proves to be financially rewarding. And despite the unexpected challenges that they have faced in their careers and in their lives, they definitely remain determined to persevere and achieve success no matter what. This is according to the source, and this could include getting into politics at this point. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry might actually be changing their names as a final act in representing their breakaway from the royal family. While there is nothing indicating that Harry and Meghan will drop their royal titles of Duke and Duchess, speculation has been circulating that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are considering a significant rebrand that involves changing their surname. According to reports, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, who have been making headlines since stepping back from their royal roles, are contemplating adopting the name Spencer as a tribute to Prince Harry's late mother, Princess Diana. Experts suggest that this is a strategic move that aims to align them with Diana's enduring legacy. Also, talks about the couple's potential rebrand gained a lot of traction following the recent announcement of the termination of their lucrative partnership with Spotify.
But actually, the podcast ended up sounding like a very, very kind of bland, run-of-the-mill interview podcast. And I think that's why people are a bit like confused.
With their multi-million-dollar deal ended, notable royal author Tom Bower believes that Prince Harry and Meghan may be seeking to reinvent themselves, starting with the name change. According to Tom Bower, both Meghan and Harry have a deep admiration for Princess Diana, and Meghan has reportedly proposed the idea of dropping the name Windsor and adopting the surname Spencer.
So I think he saw a moment to sabotage it. But the grifters story is fascinating because, coincidentally, I heard the reason why he called them the grifters, and that is because they're scroungers, the Sussexes.
If this name change takes place, then Meghan Markle would then be Meghan Spencer, which would allow her then to embody the spirit of Diana.
That Harry and Meghan were invited to this sun-kissed place by the beach, and they were staying for a couple of days, had arrived with the host's private jet, as usual.
And then Tom Bower also went on to say that the decision to consider a name change has not been made in isolation. He suggests that the couple has discussed it with others and they are actively pursuing this transformation in names. Tom Bower also suggested that Prince Harry is also considering taking the name, which would then solidify their departure, him and Meghan, from the royal family identity. And by embracing Diana's name, the couple would fully symbolize their new chapter and separate themselves from their royal lineage. Now, we all know that since stepping back from their roles as senior members of the royal family in early 2020,
a royal announcement that is sure to rock the United Kingdom, and fans of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle just announced that they are, quote, stepping back from their senior roles in the royal family. And
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have made significant strides in establishing their own identity and independent ventures. They had multi-million-dollar deals with Netflix and deals to publish books. So this demonstrates their commitment to carving out their own path and their own narrative beyond the traditional constraints of royal life. These endeavors have allowed them to leverage their platform, share their stories, and pursue projects that align with their values and aspirations. And by the way, this all comes after reports showed that Meghan Markle's popularity fell to an all-time low, especially in the UK. So definitely a rebrand would help with this, if even the help is small and slight. According to a recent opinion poll, Meghan Markle's popularity in the United Kingdom has reached an all-time low. And this survey reveals that approximately 7 out of 10 Brits hold a negative view of the Duchess of Sussex. Her net favorability rating with the British public has dropped to a record low of -47%. And this represents the lowest rating since YouGov started tracking her favorability back in 2017. Now, in comparison, Prince Harry's favorability rating experienced a slight decline of 2%, reaching -36% compared to -34% in April of 2023. It looks like Meghan Markle has a book in the works and people are worried about what could be written in it. According to a royal author, Meghan Markle's book would undoubtedly become a bestseller, like instantly right away. Since the release of Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, in January 2023, Meghan has remained very tight-lipped, leading many royal experts to speculate that she is working on her own book as we speak. And they have good reason for this, especially considering the success of Prince Harry's book.
I've heard a lot about it on social media. There's been a lot of, it seems very dramatic, and there's a lot of tea, as I'd like to say.
Even though many people disagreed with what was said in the book, well, it's still sold. People still bought it, which generated millions of dollars in revenue. And that's definitely something that Meghan and Harry need right now. They need sources of income coming in. Royal author Christopher Anderson believes that the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, will capitalize on her current position, especially considering the criticism the royal couple is facing right now. He shared with the Us Weekly publication his insights, and this is what he had to say. We've seen her perspective with some examples, but I'm sure there's always another rabbit to pull out of the hat. Some fact that we didn't know to put into a book. I'm sure if she wanted to write a book, it would be an enormous bestseller because once again, it would contain things we don't know yet. Christopher Anderson predicts that this might not be too far away, and this is what he added to his statements. I would imagine that is probably not in the distant future. I think they're going to take advantage of where they are, and she will do something like that. Also, Meghan Markle, she has taken a significant step towards reviving her passion project, which is her blog called The Tig, which she abandoned when she joined the royal family. And after closing it down during her relationship with Prince Harry back in 2017, Meghan Markle now plans to relaunch her blog. So even if Meghan Markle decides to not release a traditional book, she definitely will be writing something, that's for sure. And when we look at her recent signing with the renowned talent agency William Morris Endeavor, this suggests that Meghan is actively cultivating her personal brand. And this is according to Us Weekly's royal commentator, Christine Ross. This is what Christine Ross had to say in her own words about this. This just rings to me that the Tig is on its way back. This sort of representation helps facilitate brand deals. This is definitely a huge step forward in Meghan's brand. This is definitely Meghan creating herself as a brand. I suspect that the Tig is on its way back to our internet screens.
Meghan Markle is back, and she is apparently seeking secret advice from none other than the Kardashian family on how to get back in the spotlight. Interestingly, it appears that Meghan and Harry might be getting some guidance from none other than Kris Jenner. You know Kris, the powerhouse, the matriarch of all the Kardashians?
How does payback taste? Sweet revenge.
This is all due to Harry's recent hangouts with Kris Jenner's partner, Corey Gamble. See, paparazzi recently caught up with Harry in Aspen, Colorado, a place known well for its top-notch skiing slopes. Harry was seen hitting the slopes alongside Corey, and rumor has it that the reason for this hangout was none other than for Prince Harry to start involving himself with the right crowds in Hollywood. And I'm talking, of course, about the people who can bring this man and his wife, Meghan, the fame and glory that they deserve. And no, I'm not talking about Pete Davidson. I'm talking about the Kardashians. Meanwhile, Meghan was not spotted on the slopes with Harry, and neither was Kris, leading to speculation that the two girls were hanging out in private and discussing Meghan's strategy to regain the hearts of the American people through her latest cooking and lifestyle brand, which recently made its social media debut. This brand is called American Riviera Orchard. And no, I don't know how she came up with the name. It's possible that she just asked ChatGPT. Now, who else but Kris Jenner to go to if you need advice on running your entertainment brand in the beautiful Los Angeles? See, Meghan Markle has been reportedly extremely interested in not only returning to acting, but also making her return to social media. As one report said that Meghan is taking cues from Kim Kardashian's online presence and has aspirations of just rebranding herself and exerting control over the media, as well as growing her online presence, specifically by making a comeback on Instagram. Meghan Markle had stepped away from social media just a while back, as she took off on her royal duties alongside Prince Harry after their wedding was made official in 2018. And while the couple had an official Instagram account managed by the royal family, it did amass around 9 million followers. It recently became inactive when they relocated to the United States after nearly ruining their relationship with Harry's family as well as the British media. And despite speculation linking a particular burner Instagram account to Meghan, she's yet to confirm whether she's actually back on Instagram, so it's possible that she is actually keeping a low profile until she's ready to make a big official comeback. And on another note, there are rumors suggesting that Harry might be considering a return to the UK, especially considering their rumored financial struggles. And this seems even more realistic considering the challenges with his family, and particularly the challenges regarding his father's health and the inability to locate his sister-in-law Kate. However, if Meghan has indeed sought out assistance from Kris Jenner, it could indicate that she's planning to stay put in Hollywood for the foreseeable future. So could we see an eventual split up between Harry and Meghan? Well, here's the thing. We don't don't know. And a Meghan Markle-Kim Kardashian collab wouldn't even be that crazy, considering the fact that Kim and Meghan are both similarly interested in growing their followings and popularity, and will do anything in the power of their abilities to do so. First, they wanted to start a podcast. What about a Netflix special? Then they wanted to move back to Hollywood so Meghan can act again. And then they were broke. And then they hated the Queen. And then all of this stuff seems to have actually had a positive effect on their popularity in North America. See, after Harry and Meghan's Netflix special aired in 2022, everyone was all of a sudden on board the Harry and Meghan train, choo-choo, but then it hit a speed bump because in 2023, Harry's popularity was playing a bit of a limbo game. And early on in January, it started at a -7 in a poll where Meghan's wasn't doing much better at a -13. Yes, and in their failed quest for their podcast glory, Harry and Meghan didn't quite top the charts. In fact, their lack of success was kind of a double whammy because they had a tough time getting any exciting guests to join them on the podcast, and they apparently just had a terrible work ethic. And you mix both of those things together, it results in Spotify dropping your podcast quicker than I can say podcast. And after Spotify called Harry and Meghan a bunch of grifters, their public image got another ding. And if that wasn't enough drama, whispers started to circulate that during the Queen's health worries and her eventual death, Harry supposedly had the audacity to call up President Biden and ask for a VIP ride on Air Force One so he could zip over to the UK. For which Americans didn't take that request too well. And they actually saw this as a sign of Harry's supposed feelings of too much entitlement. Yeah. But lo and behold, the pair actually made some strides in a positive direction, because despite this royal roller coaster of negative attention, Harry and Meghan found a silver lining through their charity work and their advocacy. They played the do-good card by sponsoring and diving into the World Mental Health Day Festival back in New York City, where the duo even graced a special panel where they sat down and opened up about their own mental health journeys. On top of that, Harry's memoir Spare was released, and it added some extra glamour to their public image. It peeled back the curtain on the royal family's off-screen life, and it let people see that despite everything in the media and all the this and all the that, Harry is actually a real person. I swear, he's a real boy. He might be Pinocchio, but he's a real boy. And as the year wrapped up, whispers began about Meghan's Hollywood comeback or a revival of her blog. And, you know, surprisingly, among all this circulation, polls started to swing in the opposite direction. And Harry and Meghan's popularity was once again on the rise overseas. And it looks like the Harry and Meghan show did have a plot twist overall. Because according to a poll by Redfield and Wilton, Harry scored a +29 and Meghan a +15 over 2023 in the same poll where they trashed it earlier on in the year. It also revealed that millennials were the generation who most favored the couple.
According to CBS, Donald Trump thinks that Harry is excessively influenced by his wife and believes that the late Queen Elizabeth II should have removed their titles. And in an interview with Piers Morgan, Trump expressed this.
Harry is whipped like no person I think I've ever seen.
I'm not a fan of Meghan. I'm not a fan, and I wasn't right from the beginning.
I think poor Harry is being led around by his nose.
And as a matter of fact, this wasn't even the first time that Trump mentioned that he's not a fan of Meghan Markle. Back in 2020, during a press conference reported by CBS, Trump said this.
I'm not a fan of hers, but I wish a lot of luck to Harry, because he's going to need it.
There's also Bethany Frankel.
Bethany Frankel has a strong opinion when it comes to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
Bethany Frankel is a reality TV star and host, and she took to TikTok in 2023 to express her confusion about Meghan Markle's life, labeling it as a fascinating but botched job.
I almost feel badly. Like, I think I do feel badly.
Bethany Frankel, she criticized Meghan and Harry for transitioning from hero to zero. And she questioned their decision to let go of big opportunities that they had. Like, they're literally just losing it all when they were in such a good position before. She also found fault with what she perceived to be arrogance from them, and Bethany also urged Meghan to maintain perspective, saying that she's a fairly successful actress. Like, you're not an iconic figure like Mahatma Gandhi or someone.
You're not, Mahatma Gandhi. I don't understand how this could be anyone's trajectory.
There was even a previous instance back in March of 2021 where Bethany Frankel faced some backlash though for some dismissive comments about Meghan Markle, and she shortly after that had apologized for those comments. The next celebrity is Chris Rock. Of course, he's a renowned comedian and actor. He's known for his unfiltered humor, and he didn't shy away from commenting on Meghan Markle during his Netflix special, Chris Rock Selective Outrage.
They wanted to know how brown the baby was gonna be.
In response to Meghan Markle's revelation about concerns with the royal family regarding her child's skin tone, Chris Rock, this is what he responded and said.
That's not racist, cause even black people wanna know how brown the baby gonna be.
And then he went on to add this. Meghan Markle seems like a nice lady, just complaining. I was like, didn't she hit the light skin lottery? Candace Owens also had some views to share about Meghan Markle, and she's been pretty harsh in her comments about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's departure from the royal family.
You're gonna have to forgive me, I just cannot get enough of this Harry and Meghan story.
She shared concern about what she sees as signs of emotional manipulation and claimed that Meghan is not the victim, but rather she believes Harry is the actual victim.
I mean, the fake car crash, just actually trying to pretend that they barely survived what his mother died from.
Candace continues to express sympathy for Prince Harry, believing that he is being manipulated by Meghan, and especially after watching the early episodes of their Netflix docuseries, Harry and Meghan. Candace Owens, she tweeted her concern about Meghan's alleged manipulation, stating it is disturbing to witness a Freudian transfer and accusing Meghan of using Harry's childhood trauma to mentally take advantage of him. Of course, I gotta mention Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan appears to have a significant grudge against Meghan Markle, making him a constant presence in moments involving criticism directed towards Meghan. The whole feud between them began after a period of time where they were actually friends, and Piers Morgan initially praised Meghan Markle as perfect princess material in 2016. However, things really took a dip in their relationship after Meghan Markle reportedly ignored Piers Morgan's gestures of friendliness, leading to a lingering sense of animosity between them.
Meghan and Harry are once again being slammed for looking to work on new Netflix projects. People are pretty upset and calling them insensitive. They think it's wrong due to the fact that Catherine, the Princess of Wales, is dealing with a serious health issue.
I think it's really important for people to understand the truth.
So, the tea is that Harry and Meghan are currently working on 2 new shows for Netflix. The first will see Meghan celebrating the joys of cooking, gardening, entertaining, and friendship, while the second will be filmed during the US Open Polo Championship, according to insiders. We asked Leroy Kenton, founder of FTD News, to weigh in on this subject. What he said was, I think the only problem I have with this entire thing is the fact that Harry and Meghan are still holding on to the royal titles. Hopefully the family issues with Kate, William, and King Charles can be fixed. Every family, no matter how perfect they seem, always have issues. But Harry and Meghan clearly don't want to be a part of the royal family, and it doesn't seem like the royal family wants them to be a part of their family anymore.
She would never do this to us, but also part of, maybe this is all part of a plan.
So, like I said, the biggest issue here is Harry and Meghan still using their royal titles, but I feel any differences they have with Kate and the rest of the royal family can 100% be resolved. Only time will tell. He then went on to say, I think a lot of the backlash that Meghan and Harry are still getting comes from the fact that they're using their royal titles for their own career. Why don't they just simply be Harry and Meghan and drop the royal titles? It seems weird to me. Meghan's new lifestyle brand launched its first project when 50 influencers received a jar of her American Riviera Orchard strawberry jam to taste test. People are upset because Princess Kate Middleton and King Charles are both undergoing treatment for cancer.
It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family.
But what do they actually expect though? They can't win, they still have to work, and why are they insensitive for trying to continue to work and make a living? I feel like people will jump at any excuse to attack these guys, and I get it. But this one, it's just, I can't agree with it. They haven't visited Kate, but it's also been reported that Kate and the royal family don't want them to. So what do you do in that situation? People have got to keep working despite whatever is going on in life.
For me, it's very important to meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly.
Christopher Pickering, who is a TikTok influencer and HSV advocate, was interviewed by us on his thoughts surrounding this. What he had to say was, you wouldn't expect someone you meet day to day to quit their job if a loved one has cancer. I think Meghan and Harry chose to leave the royal family, and their choice to continue working does not reflect their views on the situation. I speculate that Meghan and Harry are quietly supporting the prince and princess. I hope the Princess of Wales has a speedy recovery. Royal commentator and Meghan's former friend Lizzie Cundy is trash-talking the couple for their pursuits at a time when the royal family is in the midst of a crisis. She has accused the Duchess of Sussex of trying to relaunch herself as a Gwyneth Paltrow type and now claimed that she is not reading the room. Talking to GBN America, she said they got these new Netflix shows about making jam and cookery and gardening, and Harry's is about polo playing. It's not really relatable. I think it's pretty insensitive when Catherine's going through what she's going through and the king is going through his cancer issues too. It's really insensitive, to be honest. Her interviewer claimed that Harry and Meghan don't realize how ridiculous they're coming across. Lizzie further slammed them as she stated, they never read the room, do they? They're so into themselves they can't see the wood for the trees. Lizzie then claimed that Meghan should look in the mirror when she called Kate out for anything in the past, noting that we've heard Meghan going in about the trolling and all the horrible comments, and you just think, look what you've actually done to poor Kate. She also trashed Meghan for her lifestyle brand, saying that Meghan should apologize to Kate. She said, I don't think anyone will be interested at all. It's fake, it's phony, it's cheesy. I think people are really seeing her for what she is. I think she should come out and actually apologize for what she done to poor Kate and maybe not be so insensitive.
The Harry and Meghan show back on the road, arriving in Nigeria.
Meghan Markle's outfit choices in Nigeria has the entire internet divided. Did she show off too much? Were her outfits appropriate for the occasion?
I fundamentally disagree with that.
This all went down during her journey to Nigeria with her husband Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle has acknowledged that she had to change up her outfits in an attempt to fit in, according to her. Reactions to Meghan Markle's skin color dress especially were mixed. Yeah, that dress got a lot of attention. This outfit that didn't have a back on, it looked like she wasn't even wearing a dress at certain angles when you looked at her. And this is according to some people, by the way. But while some people didn't find the dress overly offensive, many others though believe that Meghan ought to have shown more respect for Nigerian culture, which tends to lean towards conservatism in terms of dress.
And I say that mostly as a compliment to all of you, because what they define as a Nigerian woman is...
Traditional Western attire is generally acceptable, but modesty is generally valued, and this is according to a Nigeria travel website. Online users were offended by Meghan's backless dress since it didn't seem to appeal to the conservative crowd. But guys, I want to know, what do you think about this? Is this just the internet making a big deal over nothing when it comes to what Meghan Markle was wearing? Or do you also think that the dress went a bit too far? There were also several other outfits that some people thought went a bit too far as well, but they did not get as much attention as this skin color dress did.
We need to at least be a familiar face for the next generation to say, oh, she looks like me.
Also, by the way, Meghan Markle is no longer a working royal, but she still faces the criticism as if she were. I guess because she still carries the title Duchess of Sussex. One person wrote this online. A member of the royal family would never wear a backless dress. So you see, there's still some association with Meghan Markle being a part of the royal family.
And that was a very clear and real and frightening constant thought.
Also, I do gotta mention that on Saturday, May 11th, 2024, Meghan Markle took a short break from Harry to co-host a panel discussion about women in leadership. And Meghan attended multiple events on their unofficial royal tour of the African nation of Nigeria. And she wore 3 different dresses on this specific day. However, her last outfit of the night was a surprising red outfit that also grabbed a lot of attention. Meghan's gorgeous maxi dress, which cost less than $300 US, was ethically designed by Nigerian designer Orire, and it looks to have been an afterthought by Meghan. And this is how Meghan goes on to explain in her own words. It has been a whirlwind 24 hours since we arrived, and I very quickly got the memo that I need to wear more color so I can fit in with all of you in your incredible fashion. So I guess that's when Meghan Markle was like, okay, let me throw in the reds, let me throw in all these different colors and different styles of outfits. because I don't want to be looking plain in front of these fashionable Nigerians. By the way, a recent genealogy test revealed to Meghan that she is actually 43% Nigerian, and she called her mother after making the discovery, and she said that it was really exciting for both of them.
Yes, we are very lucky.
Meghan has previously mentioned that being African American means, and I quote, really not knowing so much about your lineage or background, where you come from specifically. It's been really eye-opening and humbling to be able to know more about my heritage and to be able to know this is just the beginning of that discovery.
My wife and I were moving on.
Meghan Markle's popularity keeps on dropping, and this is according to new polls.
According to the poll, the net positive rating of the Duchess fell to a record low of -47%.
So what's going on here? Because we last heard that Meghan is working to rebuild her image and increase her popularity, but nothing seems to be working for her at all. The transition from British royals to American media icons has been far from smooth, and it's been a challenging year for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, especially regarding their careers.
According to multiple reports, Harry and Meghan are said to be clashing with Netflix bosses over their upcoming docuseries.
While they faced criticism when announcing their step down as working royals in 2020.
For the death of the Queen, Harry and Meghan distanced themselves from the royal family.
This period held hope and excitement. People are wondering, okay, what are they gonna do next? Okay, you know, they're gonna make it big maybe in Hollywood. However, more than 3 years later, they have had very few regrets about their decision, but their transition hasn't been as seamless as they expected, as well as their popularity is dropping.
Among British adults surveyed, 65% responded with a negative review about Meghan Markle.
In early 2023, a Newsweek poll revealed that Harry and Meghan's popularity had plummeted. And the reasons for this decline varied from mixed responses to Harry's memoir to just general tiredness of hearing about the couple, and they frequently make headlines, but there hasn't really been any significant achievements on their part. And this shift in the public sentiment had immediate financial repercussions, leading to the cancellation of Meghan's Spotify podcast after just one season.
Well, there's more bad news for Harry and Meghan today. Their £18 million deal with Spotify has been binned.
And Meghan and Harry, with the assistance of Meghan's new agents, WME Management, they launched a big effort to rebrand themselves and reshape their public image, and they participated in the Invictus Games, and they've spoken out about mental health, and they've given to charities, done a lot of charitable work. And throughout these events and instances, they engaged the media, they interacted with the public, and they allowed people to photograph them. However, it appears that these instances, especially for Meghan, did not yield the desired result. They're still plummeting when it comes to popularity. Newsweek then recently conducted another poll, and it suggests that Meghan, who still has the title of Duchess of Sussex, has reached a new low in public approval. In the third quarter of 2023, 32% of respondents expressed a positive opinion of Meghan, while 22% had a negative view, resulting in a net approval rating of just +10. And this marks a significant decline from her previous rating in earlier 2023 of +17, indicating a drop of 7 points despite her efforts and those of her new advisors to improve her public image. Harry's approval rating, on the other hand, stayed pretty steady at a net +24 rating, indicating that he has managed to weather the recent controversies pretty well for himself. You know, he hasn't went up, he hasn't declined, he's just pretty stationary there. And despite this popularity is notably lower than in previous years though. Surprisingly, Harry is slightly more popular than Prince William among Americans, although the dynamics might differ in the UK if that same poll was done over there.
Being a member of the royal family isn't easy. As soon as Meghan Markle got engaged to Prince Harry, the public scrutiny of her outfits increased.
Meghan attended the wedding of Harry's close friend and suffered a wardrobe malfunction.
Twitter exploded when Meghan appeared to suffer a very minor wardrobe malfunction.
According to the fashion detectives over at Entertainment Tonight, the top button of Meghan's dress decided to make an early exit, revealing a peek of a black lace undergarment. Oh, the audacity for someone newly navigating the intricacies of a very conservative family, the royal family. This was undoubtedly a moment that made even the most seasoned Duchess feel a little bit too awkward. In the grand tradition of social media over-analysis, one Twitter user could not resist the urge but to share their fashion expertise. Quoting, "Meghan stepped out in dark colors like someone attending a funeral. And did she deliberately flaunt her bra for the camera?" They pondered. Because, you know, attending a wedding in dark colors is practically a fashion crime, and the unintentional peep of said undergarment might have been a strategic move in this world of royal fashion espionage that Meghan is diving into. Alright, let's talk about the Endeavour Fund ceremony during Meghan's engagement to Prince Harry. The event, usually smooth sailing, hit a few bumps in 2018. Meghan was on stage presenting awards when a slight mix-up with the notes caused a terribly awkward silence. Her co-presenter confessed to having different notes, and while tension rose, Meghan did her best to lighten the mood with a few laughs. But, eventually the ceremony did end up getting back on track after a brief hiccup, thankfully avoiding a 2017 Oscars-like disaster. Remember that time when they presented Best Picture to the wrong winner? In Warren Beatty's defense, La La Land was pretty top-notch. Let's take it over to March 2018, Westminster Abbey, during the Commonwealth Day service, where Liam Payne, fellow Brit, the One Direction heartthrob, took the stage, and he strummed John Mayer's "Waiting on the World to Change." You know that one? Waiting on the world to change. Well, the performance seemed to wrap up well, with Payne nodding, and the audience was enlightened. Payne started giving fist bumps to his fellow guitarists, and it gets interesting because Meghan and Prince Harry were caught on camera exchanging glances to each other, in which Harry started raising his eyebrows and Meghan ends up bursting into laughter. Oh, did I mention that they're in a church? So what's the inside scoop? Did the two not vibe with the performance? Did Meghan and Harry find the fist bumping with the guitarist a tad too much? Does Meghan Markle enjoy laughing out loud in church? One should hope not. No laughing on holy ground, Meghan. I, for one, hear that Liam's performance was top-notch. Had I laughed, I would forever feel ashamed of my actions. Rumor is that Meghan and Liam Payne are working on restoring the burnt-down bridges of their friendship. Slowly but surely, you two. Let's dive into the sunny streets of California in July, where Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, embraced the local vibes at a Santa Barbara farmer's market. Picture this: Meghan, solo, navigating through the market's fresh offerings, probably checking out some different fruits here and there, some nice vegetables, soaking up the Californian sunshine. It sounds perfect, right? Well, hold on to your sun hats there, fellas, because according to a report, Meghan might have unknowingly stirred up a tad bit of controversy. As captured by the ever-watchful lens of the Daily Mail, our Duchess of Sussex was seen with her pet beagle while going for a stroll through this farmer's market. So who cares? Well, here's the twist. There was a sign in the background. It was lit up. It was a huge, huge sign. And it seems like Meghan might have missed the memo, because the sign boldly declares, "No dogs allowed." We thank you for your understanding and cooperation, Meghan. Well, in her defense, perhaps Meghan is so used to British English nowadays that she forgot how to comprehend signs that are, well, written in American English. It happens. We are all thankful that nothing horrible happened as a result of Meghan's misunderstanding, and all the apples at the market were in fact left intact.